From the shining domicile that is Pittsburgh Comics, my old mannered comic shop owner, Colin McMahon, transforms into the world's greatest comic book talking TV host. Join us true believers for Comics Now!
Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Now for December 2023. It's the most wonderful time of the year, I hear. And it's a great time to be buying gifts for others and probably a few things for yourself. And there's lots of fun going on, lots of excitement, and the publishers are joining in with lots of great books coming out this month. To start the month off, we're going to be focusing on Jason Aaron's productive output that he's been doing for years. He started at DC, then he went over to Marvel, where he's been for ages, and he just wrapped up a big Avengers run, and now he's back at DC doing a Batman book, and he's going to start working on Action Comics. So we're doing a spotlight on all of Jason Aaron's graphic novels, so check it out. For Book Club, we're doing on December 29th, we're going to be doing Batgirl Year One. This is a fun story, a nice big chunky story to end the year with. We've had some stinkers this year, so we're going with this one because we know it's a really good story. So December 29th. DC has a bunch of holiday featured books, so I'm going to start with them on talking about what's coming. So here comes DC. Coming from DC, the big one, it's a weekly book. It's Batman Santa Claus Silent Night. Santa Claus is coming to town. The weekly 4-part crossover event of a generation begins with when a not-so-jolly St. Nick hits Gotham City to investigate a brutal crime in the days leading up to Christmas. What manner of man or beast could have committed such atrocities? With the help of his former student, Batman, Santa will team up with the heroes of the DC universe to right this wrong, or the world wakes up to coal in their stockings. A brutal, two-fisted holiday tale of hope, wonder, and monster hunting is the perfect treat to ring in the holidays. It's Claus in canon. We also have their holiday special, 'Twas the Might Before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a bat mite. Join your DC favorites as they take on 8 classic holiday stories, from Constantine and Lex Luthor's Dickensian tale to Batwoman's puzzling Hanukkah hijinks, to your classic cocoa-swilling Christmas romance switch with Harley and Amethyst. This book is a perfect companion for cookies by the fire and extra sour cream in your latkes. So pull up a sled and get ready for plenty of ho-ho holiday hope to get you in the spirit of the season. Now, event-wise, we still have Beast World going on. We have a couple one-shots coming. We have Titans Beast World World Tour Metropolis. As the ramifications of the Titans' battle with Starro reverberate across the globe, Metropolis is hit with an unexpected surge of electricity from Livewire. Meanwhile, Supergirl and Dreamer take on the terror of Flamebird. Power Girl is no longer, and amid the chaos, a threat continues to grow on the horizon. All signs point to a major new shift in the world of Superman. And we also have Titans Beast World Waller Rising. The Kingdom, a mystical and metaphysical realm, sits at the nexus of the Parliaments. A formidable new adversary, Dr. Hate, emerges with intentions to corrupt both the Kingdom and the Parliament of the Red in the pursuit of chaos. Batwing, Vixen, Val-Zod, Superman, and Black Manta are thrust together in a desperate fight for survival. They must learn to cooperate to thwart Dr. Hate's destructive plans before the wicked entity can devastate this unique plane, which represents a collective consciousness. We also have Beast World 2 and 3 this month. 2 starts with beasts rampaging through the streets and a world conqueror in the sky. The Titans must do all they can to save humanity. But as heroes and villains alike are infected, will the team stay clear of the spores or become part of the threat? And as the world rages, can Raven discover a way to save Beast Boy? And in issue 3, the world has gone wild, and Amanda Waller is the only one who can bring order. The mastermind behind the Suicide Squad has now been given frightening authority to deal with the threat at large. She knows what is needed to end this, but will her brutal methods put her on a collision course with the Titans? We also have Titans Beast World Tour Gotham. As the bestial infection spreads all over Earth, the shape-shifting spores finally start to take root in Gotham City. Follow the feral tales of your favorite heroes and villains as they lose themselves to their more beastly nature. We also have World Tour Central City. The home of the Flash is not immune from the Starro spores. And as a member of the Flash family is infected, it's all hands on deck across both Central and Keystone City. Irie West has a plan that requires the help of her BFF Maxine Baker, while Avery Ho, Wallace West, and fan favorite Circuit Breaker will all be working together with the entire clan to contain the infected speedsters, causing chaos across the city. Also, World Tour Atlantis. As Garth reacts to the crisis amongst his former Titans teammates, all hell breaks loose in the depths of Atlantis. It's a clash of Aquaman and Tempest in a deep-sea battle royale that points the way to new horizons ahead. Now, another new one we have is Kneel Before Zod. This has nothing to do with Beast War, just Superman. General Zod was Krypton's most notorious criminal. Now he has an entire planet to rule. But what happens when the most dangerous individual in the universe gets everything he ever wanted? Obviously, he wants more, and he'll stop at nothing to get it. In the most brutal series you'll read this year. Also, Action Comics has an annual. Nora Stone's true form has been revealed. Her gateway between worlds is opened, and the invasion of Earth has begun. As the multiverse's two most powerful families clash above Metropolis, which legacy will Otho Ra choose? Will the followers of the Blue Earth defend their treacherous leader or their own home? We also have the Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries is back as a new ongoing series. And for facsimile editions, we're getting New Teen Titans #1, which is the first appearance of the New Teen Titans, which included Beast Boy and Nightwing and Starfire and Cyborg and Raven. And we also are getting Batman 404 through 407 facsimile editions. That is Batman Year One by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. So that's kind of fun that they're redoing those as individual issues. And that's what we have coming from DC. Next up, Marvel Comics. Now on to what's coming from Marvel Comics. We have a new Timeless issue. Last year it brought us Kang, which led to all sorts of fun Kang stuff in the past year. This year, a different issue. It's a devastating future born from the choices of today. All of time and space is threatened by the ascension of the ancient evil. The Moon Knight Unending has risen, a nightmare born of Stark Tech, the Eternal Machine, and the God of the Moon. And now all of Earth bows before his overwhelming power. But one man stands against Khonshu's coming tide of chaos. Power Man, the Marvel Universe's final living superhero. But who is Power Man? And how did he come to wield the unstable powers of the Sentry, the Hulk, and the Iron Fist? What dark, deeply personal conflict underpins the mind-bending apocalypse? And at the end of the line, can the Marvel Universe ever truly be saved? We also have Moon Knight 30, the terminal seconds of Moon Knight. Knight's End. Battle of the Mount reaches an explosive conclusion. And all that stands in the way of the Black Spectre's scheme of annihilation is Moon Knight. But can Moon Knight triumph against the odds arrayed against him? Or will the Mount stand as his tombstone? With all hope of resurrection gone, Moon Knight's life hangs on the line, along with Manhattan. We also have Vengeance of the Moon Knight #1 spinning out of this. Clad in the black of mourning, the Midnight Mission remains. But who is left to keep the faith? And how have they been changed by the Black Spectre's master stroke? The next chapter of Moon Knight starts here as the congregants of the Midnight Mission pick up the pieces and carry on the mission, and find themselves faced with a mysterious new enemy in eerily familiar vestments. We also have Gang War is starting. We have Amazing Spider-Man 39. Gang War kicks off here. Supercrime is running rampant, and Spider-Man can't solve only one problem at a time. So Spidey builds a team to take down all the super criminals of New York City in 48 hours. Good luck, Spidey. We also have Spider-Man 40. Battle lines are drawn, and Spidey and his crew being the only ones who can save all of New York City from the worst super criminals to ever super criminal. But is Tombstone on their side? We also have Daredevil Gang War. The heat is on in Hell's Kitchen. Elektra Natchios, the former assassin turned Daredevil, has been recruited by the Amazing Spider-Man to stop New York City from tearing itself apart as every mobster and supervillain in town goes to war. and Elektra is the only thing standing in the way of Hell's Kitchen's annihilation at the hands of the dangerous new gang, The Heat, whose violent schemes from the pages of Daredevil unfold. Also continues in Miles Morales' Spider-Man 13 and 14. We also get Deadly Hands of Kung Fu Gang War. Gang war has thrown the crime lords and superheroes of New York into a deadly conflict, as both Shang-Chi must play each side against the other in a dangerous game of deception. When he became leader of his family's 5-weapons society, he promised to use it for good, but friends and foes alike have been unsure of his true intentions. The stakes of gang war will force his hand as he vows to protect Chinatown and use the opportunity to eliminate the 5-weapons society's biggest rivals. He'll use his world-class fighting skills as well as deceit, calculation, and manipulation to navigate the battlefields as he learns the art of war is all about shades of gray. We also have a facsimile edition Giant Size Superstars #1. It's a double-length slobber knocker between the Thing and the Hulk. We're also getting Rom in the X-Men Marvel Tales, which is reprinting Rom 17, 18, 31, and 32, where he interacted with the X-Men. We're getting Marvel Voices Avengers, and there came a day unlike any other, when Earth's mightiest heroes from all walks of life united against a common threat. Join a team of Marvel's finest creators, from veterans to new recruits full of potential, for 4 tremendous tales of Earth's mightiest heroes. We also have the original X-Men one-shot. Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Beast, Iceman, and Angel, the first and greatest heroes to bear the X-Men name, once traveled into their own futures to reset the course of history. Now another multiversal mystery calls them forth. When the dust settles, one hero will remain trapped in the world as we know it. With shocking surprise guests and heart-pounding twists and turns, Christos Gage and Greg Land kick off a story that will shake the whole Marvel universe. We're also getting a facsimile edition of the original Wolverine #1 by Frank Miller and Chris Claremont. Star Wars Revelations is a one-shot from the High Republic to the original trilogy and beyond. Jabba the Hutt, Darth Vader, Mace Windu, Thrawn, and more. Introducing new characters, new twists, and new turns across all of Marvel's Star Wars line. This star-studded issue puts the pieces on the board for what's to come in a galaxy far, far away. Now, on to Image Comics. New from Image Comics in December, we have Duke #1, but this is by Josh Williamson and Tom Riley. The G.I. Joe initiative begins here. Conrad Hauser has made first contact with an alien being, or was it a UFO? Was it both? But no one, not even Colonel Hawk, will believe the story of the jet fighter converting into a colossal alien robot that nearly killed the man known as Duke. Now one of the U.S. Army's most decorated officers is on the hunt for answers, drawn into a conflict that no amount of training could ever prepare him for. A war that only a real American hero has any chance of surviving. Adventure Man is back. Adventure Man Ghostlights by Matt Fraction and Terry and Rachel Dodson. When the good guys of the Golden Age come back, all their ghosts follow. Now Claire, the new Adventure Man, and her maybe beau Chris, the new cross-draw kid, defend peace on Earth from a phantom empire of crime. We also have Bloodrick. Bloodrick is angry, confused, and starving. Unable to achieve success in his usual hunting grounds, he stomps his way into unfamiliar worlds with an attempt to feed his stomach and heal his ego. What he finds will lead him on a journey of madness, violence, fire, and blood. We have The Bloody Dozen, The Shrouded College #1 from Charles Soule. In this new installment of The Shrouded College, Charles Soule and Will Sliney's supernatural horror adventure saga, 3 down-and-out astronauts are tasked with the ultimate heist, breaking a group of deadly vampires out of a space prison orbiting the sun. Apollo 13 makes Blade in this killer thriller. We also have Creepshow Holiday Special. Creepshow is here to put the fear in your cheer. You've heard of Santa, you've heard of Krampus, but have you ever heard of the Christmas Man? Witness the birth of a new horrifying holiday classic. Our Bones Dust #1. A feral child, equal parts predator and prey, navigates a nightmare landscape of brutality and blood inhabited by scattered cannibal tribes. An interesting place to poke around for a curious artificial intelligence. We also have Shift, a one-shot. This is from Kyle Higgins in the Radiant Black world. He's tangled with Radiant Black and fought alongside the dead Lucky. But who's the man in the suit, and how does he assemble his room of supervillains? Now on to Boom Studios. Boom Studios brings us a new one this month, Animal Pound. This is by Tom King and Peter Gross. When animals grow tired of being caged, killed, and sold off, it's only a matter of time before they've had enough. When an uprising puts a pound in control of the animals, they quickly find themselves as comrades united against everything that walks on two legs. But with this newfound power comes a sudden challenge: how best to lay the groundwork for a new democracy as they write their own constitution. We also have Underheist from David Lapham. After his gambling addiction brings David to the lowest point in his life and decimates his personal life, he'd do anything for one last chance at setting things right. But the road to hell is paved with good intentions. He may just be in luck, if he can call it that. The grapevine yields illicit fruit as he learns of a heist, one involving a tunnel system that no one knows better than former New York City subway veteran David. We also have Book of Butcher, leading into the 5th anniversary of Something is Killing the Children and building on last year's Book of Slaughter. Maxine Slaughter steps into the spotlight in her journey from white to black mask. With New Orleans as her destination, what will Maxine uncover about House Boucher, and what will she learn about herself in the process? We also have Stuff of Nightmares Sleigh Ride by R.L. Stine. If you dare, get into the sinister spirit of the season and join the Nightmare Keeper for a demented Saint Nick story. One who decks the halls with holiday horror, crafting a very merry, macabre Christmas unlike any other. As malls continue to die, a down-and-out former mall Santa named Hendrik Fiddler's rage turns to madness, and he's dead set on making sure department store shopping isn't the only thing that's deceased. Now on to the rest. From Dynamite Comics, we have a new installment in the Disney Villains line. This time it's Cruella de Vil. Even though there's absolutely no hard evidence that Cruella de Vil was ever involved with the theft of any Dalmatian puppies, her name has been ruined in all of the tabloids, and her reputation in the fashion world is hanging by a thread. Which is why she's willing to do anything to restore her good name, even stealing the royal family's priceless jewels. We also have new Darkwing Duck Justice Ducks, foes of evil, enemies of injustice. To the mighty hordes of the Justice Ducks, all bad guys are a total bummer and must be taken down, even if said baddos are from outer space. Flying saucers descended from the skies to maybe wreak possible havoc upon the mostly innocent citizens of St. Canard. All that's stopping these aggressive alien agitators is the Justice Ducks. We also have new Jennifer Blood book, Battle Diary. Following the grisly events of Bloodlines, the woman known as Jennifer Blood finds herself involved with a new class of criminals. This one-woman bane of organized crime is supposedly dead and buried, and that's exactly what she wants the world to think. Now, however, a visit to her original penitentiary gravesite puts Blood in the crosshairs of a vicious prison gang, one that has no idea what's about to hit them. We also have legendary Red Sonja. This is part of Red Sonja's 50th anniversary. When last we saw the legendary world's Red Sonja, she was living the pirate's life aboard her ship, the Nautilus. But things have changed. In this special 40-page one-shot adventure, Katana Collins weaves a tale of thievery, deception, and a mysterious painting with a decidedly handsome and unaging owner, all set against the steam-powered backdrop of the legendary world. Dark Horse gives us some new ones. We have another Assassin's Apprentice series and a new Critical Role Tales of Exandria series. We also have one called Borealis. Winter nights last months, temperatures can hit 70 below, alcohol is illegal, and something mysterious is emerging on the remote ice. Welcome to the isolated Quinn, Alaska, and a world of bad memories for State Trooper Syl Osha. After 13 years away from Quinn, Syl is pulled back to investigate a series of brutal murders, only to face a dark past and her frightening connection to the deadly legends. We have a Hellboy winter special, the Yule Cat. Hellboy travels to Reykjavik, where children are disappearing and a giant beast has been spotted. Could it be the infamous Yule Cat of Icelandic lore? We also have Masterpiece, is a new series from Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Malev. Emma is a brilliant and driven 16-year-old. She is paid for school with her next-level invention and is well known for her funny and honest webcomics. Then one day, one of the most famous billionaires on the planet confronts her with the truth about her world. Emma discovers that she is the only daughter of two of the greatest, most charismatic master criminals of all time. We also have time traveler tales. Oliver has a problem, a time travel problem. Some mysterious force keeps throwing him through time. And this time he's in the Wild West rescuing circus animals. But as crazy as that is, it's only the beginning of his adventure. Massive has a new one, Washed in the Blood. What if you were called upon by the worst god of all time in a frozen post-apocalyptic wasteland called Freak Snow? A young cult survivor hears the voice of the self-proclaimed god of violence. Like any human would be, he is hypnotized by the prospect of power by listening to this divine freak. A path to salvation paved with love, turmoil, and mostly death. Archie gives us Sabrina the Teenage Witch's holiday special. And then we also have a Archie's Christmas Spectacular. Distillery has a new one from Mirka Andolfo called Blasphemous. A new horror comedy asking how much is your soul worth? In a world where pop stars have ascended to divinity, and the masses now bow in veneration to a new generation of viral superstars, angels and demons thrive in this exhalation and revel in this spotlight that grants them unimaginable power. Mad Cave has a new one called Skeeters. Small town hijinks ensue as extraterrestrial mosquitoes descend on a sleepy beach town. Also have Charred Remains. A dark entity made of fire, smoke, and ash, the Fireman, blazes through a young girl's home, killing her entire family. Amy Durant swears she saw this supernatural creature, but no one ever believed her. Unfortunately, these past fears reignite a decade later as their city goes up in flames. With no one else to rely on, Amy is forced to battle both past trauma and the face of the inferno. Oni Press has a new one from Cullen Bunn called Invasive. Dr. Claire Reynolds was a veteran trauma surgeon with godlike mastery of muscle and bone. But outside of the operating room, her rigidly ordered life spiraled into chaos when her daughter Heather, a recovering plastic surgery addict, suddenly disappeared, only to mysteriously reemerge in a catatonic state, her vocal cords removed. The latest in a series of victims scarred by a battery of brazenly cruel medical procedures that have baffled police and left an alarming number of once ordinary citizens maimed, mutilated, or dead on arrival. Deep beneath the streets of Cary City, a now kind of underground hospital has just opened its doors, and once inside there are no rules, no oaths, and no taboos too deep to not be broken. Together, a new class of surgeon is sworn to pierce the final threshold of accepted medical orthodoxy, one incision at a time. And lastly, a new one from Scout, well, new old one. The Maze Agency is back. This was a 90s series. The Maze Agency is back. Mike W. Barr returns to the world of everyone's favorite comic book detective team. Jennifer Maze, sophisticated New York private eye and owner of the Maze Agency, and her paramour, Gabriel Webb, somewhat scruffy true crime writer and amateur sleuth, romance, solve crimes, and catch villains in fair play detective stories that the reader is challenged to solve before they do. So that's a lot of the new stuff coming out in December, plus all your favorites are continuing. We're doing book club on the 29th, which is going to be Batgirl Year 1, and we're spotlighting Jason Aaron to start the month off. Also, we always do Festivus sales, which is 12 days of different sales, and those start on December 13th. So keep your eye out, see what they're all about. So, if you have any questions or comments or want to talk to me, the website's pittsburghcomics.com, Facebook is Pittsburgh Comics, Twitter and Instagram are PGH Comics. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for Comic Previews Theater.
A sword is forged in the fire. A sword is born out of molten steel, seething white-hot liquid without form or function. The mold, the hammer, and the swordsmith give it shape. Time spent in the fire and time spent on the anvil give strength to the blade. Violence and fire transform raw steel into a powerful weapon. Wisdom is born in a lifetime. a lifetime of mistakes made and knowledge gained, is shaped by our days and hardened with age. A mind steeped in wisdom is a powerful weapon. His mind was a seething, white-hot liquid steel, the mind of Bloodreek. He was hungry and furious. Bloodreek had hunted for days and found nothing. He wandered further from his hill, his home, than he'd ever been before. He didn't like it. Nothing about these woods was familiar. He had no choice. He had no food. The woods near his home were barren. He heard no howling at night and saw nothing during the day. No sign of an animal he could sink his teeth into. No sounds, no tracks. No food. It was as if the world had dried up and died, suffocated under the snow. In the silence, his growling stomach was deafening. He came to the edge of the woods and stared out onto a barren wasteland. Nothing. He heard nothing. Saw nothing. Nothing but fallen snow, dead trees behind him, and frozen plain in front of him. The gray sky growing darker by the minute. Hunger, confusion. It made no sense. Nothing in the woods is beyond me, he thought. All animals live and die by my choosing. They serve only me.
I am Bloodreek, King of the Woods.